Hello, everybody, and welcome to this video where today we are going to do the next part in the Roominghouse Madrigals. That's a thumbnail thing if I've ever seen one. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not going to tell you where I am, okay? But I'm up north. I'm up here for another week before moving into the new place in the desert. And it's been really nice. And I have a lot of cool plans. I went to a little bookstore right here looking for the next book in the Bukowski book club because all my books are in storage. So I'm going to need to get another copy of Septuagenarian Stew, and then I'll probably auction it off or do a raffle or a contest or something for one of you all to get it. But I did stop by a bookstore here and pick up some books, so I'll show you what I got, because these are probably going to be what the next few videos I do are going to be about. So the first one is this fancy little hardcover of Revolutionary Letters by Diane DePrima, 50th anniversary edition. Hardcover, looks really nice. City Lights books. I should have just waited to get it for when I go to City Lights, which will be in a couple days, but whatever, I picked it up now. Then we have another Ginsberg, The Fall of America, Poems of These States from 65 to 71, National Book Award for Poetry in 1973. I might actually have this already. I'm not 100%, but I have so many little Ginsberg City Lights books. I couldn't remember if I had this, and I figured if I do have it, I'll do the same thing and do a giveaway and give the book away. Whatever, what have you. Then I picked up Time as a Mother by Ocean Vuong. I guess this is the second collection, which means that one that I'm about to show you now is probably the first. Is this the first full-length collection? Yeah. Night Sky with Exit Wounds. If you remember the video I did on, maybe I'll put it up here, the Is Ocean Vuong Good or whatever, he does a reading where he reads a bunch of the poems out of this book. So I started reading it today, and like I said in the video, spoiler alert, he's pretty good. You know, kind of gimmicky, but pretty good. And me saying Ocean Vuong's gimmicky has been a cause of arguments and frustrations. So for those of you who don't think that, you know, when I do the video, leave it in the comments, or you can leave it down here. People will be confused as to why you're talking about Ocean Vuong in a Bukowski video, but, you know, come see, come saw, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, Carpe Diem, you know the drill. Cheers. Roominghouse, let's get to it. Let's see where we start today. So we are on the third page of the table of contents, which means there's one more video after this, so I have to hurry up and get that book. So we're going to be on page 138 in the Black Sparrow edition. And we are going to be going through to page 202. The final poem in this section is Face While Shaving. So let's see. I have a bunch of these poems marked, so let's just get going. This is, I don't need a bed sheet with slits for eyes to kill you in. If it's raining and you're sitting behind a shade with a cup of curare or a dead antelope with bluer eyes than any of the beautiful eyes of any of the girls in this ugly town, I'll paint your fence green or unplug your drain for almost nothing. If the fog comes in like a soft cleanser and you see old men looking out at it from behind curtains, these warm old men smoking pipes, I will tell you stories to make your dreams easier. But if you mutilate me, hang me alongside the scarecrow like a cheap Christ, and let some schoolboy hang a sign about my throat, I'm going to walk your streets of night with a knife. If the rain and the snow on gay holidays, I'll be there behind you. And when I decide that we will finally meet, you will not understand because you did not want to, and the flowers and the dogs and the cities and the children will not miss you. I love the hang me alongside the scarecrow like a cheap Christ and let a schoolboy hang a sign around my throat. That's awesome. So that's just a good angry poem. That's one of those poems that he, like, because he actually doesn't have very many super angry poems that stay angry the whole time. That's like a threat, you know? So this next one is called 86th. The most binding labor is trying to make it under a sanctified banner. Similarity of intention with others marks the fool from the explorer. You can learn this at any pool hall, racetrack, bar, university, or jail. People run from rain but sit in bathtubs full of water. Wow, that's good, dude. It is fairly dismal to know that millions of people are worried about the hydrogen bomb, yet they are already dead. Yet they keep trying to make women, money, sense, and finally the great bartender will lean forward, white and pure and strong and mystic, to tell you you've had enough, just when you feel like you're getting started. This one on page 141, The Ants. I read this in, I think, one of the Bukowski chapbook videos. I'll put a thing up there for it. I can't remember which book it was in. The Ants. I was down by the mill at last, and I saw a rabbit go by, and a rotten log, and a rotten heart, and I sat and I smoked on a stump, and I watched the ants. The ants are everywhere, picking up the dead, their dead and the other dead, cleaning up the earth, and the sky was the same old pale blue, like a weak watercolor, and a couple of clouds, fat and senseless, and I took out the bottle and the notebook, and I was a man 1,000 years old, and 1,000 years back or 1,000 years ahead. And I looked down into the oil of water, and the sun came back, painting blurs in my head, showing me who was master and how weak I was. And I put my hand flat on the dirt, palm up, and the ants came and touched and passed around, and I guessed that I was not dead. So I guessed I was not dead. But no, there was one. He came up and climbed, and I could feel the thin hair legs as he climbed. Both of us brilliant in the sunlight. And then down he went into the dirt, and he ran ahead, but the next one ran up my sleeve and then out, and then stood there in my palm, blind, looking up at me. And while he stood there, another came up and touched his feelers, and they talked about me. And then a third and a fourth, and I felt their excitement. This palm in the dust could be theirs. And I rose with a curse and pinched and blew them off like the idiots they were. Their time would come to share with the worm, but this time was mine. But no matter that I walked off into the pines and frightened a squirrel, they had said they had their say, and I was done. This next one is called 3:30 a.m. Conversation. At 3:30 a.m. in the morning, a door opens and feet come down the hall, moving a body. And there is a knock, And you put down your beer and answer. God damn it, she says, don't you ever sleep? And she walks in, her hair in curlers and herself in a silk robe covered with rabbits and birds. And she has brought you her own bottle, to which you splendidly add 2 glasses. Her husband, she says, is in Florida, and her sister sends her money and dresses, and she has been looking for a job for 32 days. You tell her you are a jockey's agent and a writer of jazz and love songs, and after a couple of drinks, she doesn't bother to cover her legs with the edge of the robe that keeps falling away. They are not bad legs at all, in fact, very good legs. And soon you are kissing a head full of curlers, and the rabbits are beginning to wink, and Florida is a long way away. And she says we are not strangers, really, because she has seen me in the hall. And finally, there is very little to say. Oh, well, it's weird because there's quite a few pages of poems here with good poems in them, but I didn't mark them for whatever reason. I don't know why that is. But this is one that I have marked that I read in one of the chapbook videos too. It's called Regard Me. Regard me in high level of terror as the one who pulled down the shades when the president stopped to shave, enthralled by the way the Indian turned through the darkness and the water and sand. Regard me as the one who laughed when the cat caught fire in the radio and the owl blew his stinking stack, grabbing mice and bowls and ornaments. Regard me as the one who picked the meat from the bones and shot craps with God as the poison cornets floated in the air. Regard me even as dead, more alive than many of the living. And regard me as I fumble with flat breasts. Regard me as nothing, so we may have peace and forget. Okay, we just got a couple more here. This one's a little shorter than the last one, like video-wise, I mean. Friendly advice to a lot of young men. Go to Tibet, ride a camel, read the Bible, dye your shoes blue, grow a beard, circle the world in a paper canoe, subscribe to the Saturday Evening Post, chew on the left side of your mouth only, marry a woman with one leg and shave with a straight razor, and carve your name in her arm. Brush your teeth with gasoline, sleep all day and climb trees at night. Be a monk and drink buckshot and beer. Hold your head underwater and play the violin. Do a belly dance before pink candles. Kill your dog, run for mayor, live in a barrel, break your head with a hatchet, paint tulips in the rain, but don't write poetry. Like, that whole thing was just for that last line. That was great. This one's actually kind of good. I don't know why I didn't have that marked. We're going to read this one too. This is called Everything. The dead do not need aspirin or sorrow, I suppose. They might need rain. Not shoes, but a place to walk. Not cigarettes, they tell us, but a place to burn. Or we're told. Space and a place to fly might be the same. The dead don't need me, nor do the living. The dead might need each other. In fact, the dead might need everything we need. And we need so much. If we only knew what it was, it is probably everything. And we will all probably die trying to get it, or die because we don't get it. I hope you will understand when I'm dead, I got as much as possible. Okay, I have this one marked. I guess I'm going to read it. I don't remember liking it, but here we go. Wrong number on page 199. The foreign hands and feet that tear my window shades, the masses that shape before my face and ogle, or is it ogle? No, it's ogle. And picture me regulated to their damned cage, failed and locked, quite finely in. The fires are preparing the burnt flowers of my hills. The wall-eyed butcher spits and flaunts his blade, backed by law, dullness, and admiration. How the girls rejoice in him. He has no doubts. He has nothing, and it gives him strength, like a bell clanging against the defenseless air. There is no church for me, no sanctuary, no God, no love, no roses to rust. Towers are only skeletons of misfit reason. The sea waits and the land waits, amused and perfect. Carefully, I call voices on the phone, measuring their sounds for humanity and laughter. Somewhere I am cut off. Contact fails. I return the receiver and return also to the hell of my undoing, to the looming, larks eating my wallpaper and curving fat and fancy in the bridge work of my tub, and waiting against my will, against music and rest and color, against the God of my heart, where I can feel the undoing of my soul, spinning away like thread on a quickly revolving spool. And finally, the last poem in this section on page 202, Face While Shaving. So what is a body but a man, caught inside for a little while, staring into a mirror, recognizing the vegetable clerk or design on the wallpaper? It is not vanity that seeks reflection, but dumb ape wonder, but still the reflection. Movement of arm and muscle, shell head, a face staring down through the stale dimension of dreams as a Mississippi co-ed powders her nose and paints a lavender kiss. The phone rings like a plea, and the razor breaks through the snow. The dead roses, the dead moths, sunset after sunset, steam and Christ and darkness, one tiny inch of light. All right, so that is the Roominghouse Madrigals. This is probably part 4, and then part 5 will be next week, and we will finally finish this book before jamming into Septuagenarian Stew. If you go to mattwallart.com, you will see a bunch of my artwork and a bunch of my limited edition chapbooks. Most of the chapbooks are out of print right now, and there's only a few that are actually up for sale. Once I get back into my new place, I'm going to be putting a bunch more up. The art pieces that are up there, I'm trying to move out as quickly as possible because I have a bunch more that I want to put up there. So for a lot of these pieces, especially the 12 by 12s, these are going to be gone by the end of the month. So if you want any of these, jump on them. I've reduced prices of some of them so you could get in there while the getting's good. And if you want to do multiple orders, like multiple pieces, let me know and I'll work out some sort of deal for you there. But I really need to get a bunch of newer stuff up on the site, in the store. So again, mattwallart.com. Click the link down below, hit the join button if you want to become a member of the channel. We do live streams and writing Zooms and things like that. Much more once I get into my new place. Again, sorry for the delay on a lot of that. If you would like to pick up a copy of Roominghouse Madrigals, there's a link down below. It's an Amazon link. It helps the channel out if you do that. Yeah, go if you click the link, the Amazon link to my books as well. That helps the channel out a lot too. So continue to type hard, and I will talk to you all later.